sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back once again to Quantum Leap Reviews. After a brief hiatus to talk about Doctor Who on Rainiac's channel, we have returned to this time travel show, and we're reckoning with Dr. Ruth, which, welcome to Season 5, where...
Yeah, where the theme song changed, and we don't know where the pretty much season 5 is the insanity season, where they pretty much went well, we're gonna end the show either this season or next season anyway, so off we go.
So they start out with going after John Lee Harvey Oswald, but they don't do the Stephen King one this year.
Stephen King did the Lee Harvey Oswald thing like 20 years later. So there's that.
Yeah, but
Sean,
yeah,
Sean, they did do a Stephen King episode.
Not in
I'm
season
hoping
5.
we get the Stephen King
no, I
episode.
mean, but on season 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
What were you hoping? What Stephen King thing would you be hoping for in the Quantum Leap season 5?
I said no. I said I'm hoping for the Stephen King episode gets picked.
Yeah, you're hoping it gets spinned on the wheel so you can draft Rain. I know that.
Hey, no, because also we kind of when we came back into this room, we found out that the wheel kind of expanded beyond our control because the wheel is apparently an eldritch god. That's something we will talk about at a later time.
The wheel's bigger on the inside. The dimensions are leaking out. Can't be helped.
Sadly, there's no room for any Doctor Who on the wheel.
Yes, sadly we asked it to. We asked to cover some Doctor Who, and in anger, it put on the movie Cromwell, so we don't know what's going on.
We asked the wheel to put on Doctor Who. The wheel promptly regenerated into Billy Piper and went off.
Yeah. And now the wheel is stuck in the wilderness era, where it's canceled forever.
No. Well, speaking of dead shows, here's the last season of Quantum Leap, season 5. This is their last season, and aside from a couple books and some comic books, they didn't do anything until Dr. Ben's song in 2022. But anyway,
the books, and by the way, the books are literally insane.
Yeah, there's some weird fucking shit that happens in those books.
We get on Rainiac's channel with Doctor Who reviews. Like I said last week, I love EU material, so I own one of the Quantum Leap EU books, Independence.
Oh Jesus!
Oh Lord!
Oh, you picked. Oh, that's. Oh God! And yeah, for funsies, and that'll interest Sean, I think, because if you know enough Doctor Who EU lore, Independence is written by John Peel.
Oh, joy, that guy.
Yeah. See, the only Quantum Leap EU book I own is the prequel book.
The other one I own is the one I showed them recently, which is the Target book-esque one, which is
the Ghost in the Gumshoe. Yeah, the Ghost in the Gumshoe, which basically just, from what I understand, it's just adaptations of 2 Quantum Leap episodes.
Yeah, that connect to each other. So basically, Sam leaps into one episode, does it, and then halfway through the book, he leaps into the other episode and deals with that problem.
Okay, so you get two novelizations
instead of doing it in
Quantum
chronological order, it's random, like the Wheel of Fate.
Yeah, like the Wheel of Fate, which let's hope to God we do not anger it further.
But before, we will pay our tribute to the Wheel
of it just to see how well it would do, and it gave us the Stonewall comic.
Yay!
Oh God!
What fun! Okay, well, speaking of terrible things we need to talk about, we need to talk about the star of this episode because this is season 5, which absolutely does weird bullshit like involving real people and evil leapers, but that's besides the point. We don't have to talk about that right now. But we have to talk about noted professional sex therapist and personality Dr. Ruth Westheimer. Who the hell was Dr. Ruth?
So here's the, let me just give a roundabout of who we see in season 5. for the these will be upcoming episodes, just to make sure. So this is our first one, but will be upcoming. In season 5, we have Lee Harvey Oswald. We have Elvis. We have the grandfather or great grandfather of Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh boy.
We have Marilyn Monroe. We have Dr. Ruth Westheimer,
who we'll be discussing shortly.
Quantum Leap originally used to do touches with history. Season 5 is where they went, nah, let's just have them actually meet these people.
Yes, we've gone from kisses with history to full-on sexual intercourse.
Ah!
Given that this is a Dr. Ruth episode, it's going to be sex positive. Mike, you missed Bigfoot, aliens, and evil leapers.
And vampires. Don't forget
and vampires. And vampires. Yeah. Which is even the leap after
Christopher Lee. But they couldn't afford Christopher Lee.
Oh my god, the ending shot of this episode is literally just a Christopher Lee standing.
But we do want to talk about the end first. I know that we jump all over in time and place, and we're not linear. We're not a summary podcast, but we got to have some structure. So, Dr. Ruth Westheimer was a sex counselor. She went on the radio and let people call in and gave frank discussion about sex, which would be generally a good thing. But in reading over her Wikipedia real quick, there are some things that make you go, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's worth contextualizing these what the fucks in the period in which she was in. She was Dr. Ruth was a German Jew who fled Germany when the Nazis were in power. She went to an all-girl school in according to Wikipedia. She went to school in Switzerland while her grandparents cared for her elderly grandmother, which resulted in their death. As a result of this, she emigrated to British-controlled, and this is what Wikipedia credits as, mandatory Palestine, which would become Israel.
Oh boy.
And as a result, she joined the IDF as a sniper.
I just would like to say right now, like I said on Rain Show and the Interstellar Song Contest, we here at Quantum Leap Review say Free Palestine.
Yeah, I just want people to understand just how touchy this episode is. Originally, when we got we thought we were gonna just be talking about the fun things of this episode. The moment you start looking into this woman's life, it is both fascinating and also bits that in 2025 you look at and go, oh.
She also denied that bisexualism was a thing in one of her answer columns. So,
which is weird because bisexualism is literally the early the reason why people think like, oh, I'm straight and no, like bisexual was. That was the norm for thousands of years.
Happy Pride Month, kids! Bisexuals are fucking valid.
Yes.
Yeah. And apropos of nothing, going back to the other thing, she died in July 12th, 2024, and she was lifelong in favor of the state of Israel. So she would have opinions on what is currently going on in Israel.
Oh dear God.
Her initial joining of it, she was very much in favor of it. And it's not like every single person in German Jew or otherwise was in favor of Israel, most notably Hannah Arendt, who was very vocal about the horrors and cruelty of the Israeli state as demonstrated in her book Eichmann in Jerusalem, which has a very pointed comment about the sympathies the court of the court against Eichmann has towards the Nazis in comparison to those they have against, say, Arab people.
We talk about the history of Dr. Ruth here at the beginning because we want people to understand that history should not be glossed over, especially given a show like Quantum Leap, which goes back into these histories and takes a look at history with a stark face.
Exactly.
So like it very much is keen that we sit down and do have these discussions, if however brief, about history before we begin the good times of let's say of Dr. Ruth, a piece of Dr. Ruth's mind infecting Sam Beckett, or Sam's childish, like, I don't know how to talk about this.
Yeah.
Or
it's very much a moment where it is good to step back and go, no, this is the history of these people. This is history.
Exactly.
Yeah, history is often problematic, complicated, and messy. Otherwise, you are just telling a story. You might as well just say that Elon Musk is a god kid who knows what he is doing.
God. So, all that being said, Dr. Ruth, a very, shall we say, problematic? Is that too strong a word?
Interesting. Fascinating individual.
Okay.
I think a lot of problematic people are, I think problematic is something that you want to poke at because you are interested in them. Whereas it's often used as a pejorative of this person should die in a fire, but he made something I love, so I want to keep the thing I love, and I want him to die in a fire. Problematic individuals oftentimes have aspects that are worth poking at, because it is worth poking at the contradictions of someone who was very much a pioneer in making the conversations about sex more public and honest, and also somebody who was very much against bisexuality.
Yeah, it's a complex balance. She wasn't entirely villainous, nor was she entirely a saint. She was a person. She had good qualities, she had bad qualities, and we can discuss all that. Basically, all that is to say
this is not a podcast. This is not a podcast about Dr. Ruth the person. This is an episode about Dr. Ruth as we know it in this one snippet of history from the TV show Quantum Leap.
Yeah. I also, as a Canadian, I must say that I personally just stand Sue Johansson, who's our Dr. Ruth, who, as far as I can tell, didn't do anything problematic in her life and did much the same, opening up the conversation about sex, particularly to young people who, you want to tell the teens how to be responsible about sex.
Yeah. So speaking of that, we open up to Sam Beckett on the microphone, being asked a question about the comparison between a guy's feet and his love muscle, and he almost faints.
I
on
love.
The microphone.
Okay. All that said about Dr. Ruth, I really enjoy this episode. Here's my thesis statement for this episode. This episode is a near perfect vertical slice of Quantum Leap. It has a little of all the aspects that make Quantum Leap an interesting show. It's funny. It talks about romance. It has people changing lives for the better. It touches on the subject and shows some real uncomfortable shit that would happen in the shadows. And it doesn't shy away from that and kicks its ass and makes a better future. It's a great little vertical slice of what I love about the show. It's also weird as hell. This is a stunt casting thing. But the one thing I do love, is, as Mike pointed out, is Sam's just prudishness about this. He's just... Because Scott Bakula playing Sam Beckett, he basically plays him like the personification of a golden retriever. So they'd be like... I have to go on the microphone and talk about penises?
Which, I mean, all things considered, Pete is one of the tamer fishes around.
I just want to warn it, Fresno, that you might want to bleep out that word.
I'm not monetized. I don't give a fuck. Penis. Okay, but
anyway, oh god. Anyway, what's funny is at the beginning of the episode when he's literally like, I don't know how to do it. And then like later on in the episode when he's doing it, he's like, look at all the good I can do as Dr. Ruth. Look at all this good, and that's what I think is kind of one of the things that kind of is interesting to him is when he starts actually getting into it and being. This is probably one of the first this is one of the episodes where we actually get to see Sam as a doctor, because that is one of his many talents. Is that one of his 5 doctorates is being a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Although with the point about what good he can do, I actually am interested in the implications of his choice of teen pregnancy and AIDS. Like those are very much important issues within the world. Highlighting the way in which things have changed and are horrifying. Like bringing up AIDS as a subject matter entirely. Yeah, I think this was 93.
Yeah,
Yeah,
93.
93, and he had leaped into 1985. So AIDS would have been hotbed topic both at time of writing and at time of him leaping into it.
Yeah, and this is 2 years after Tony Kushner's landmark play Angels in America, which explored the AIDS epidemic from an explicitly queer perspective. Which I believe was a landmark hit at the time, though this was before the HBO miniseries that made an even bigger hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in 1993, I'm thinking mainly because AIDS was pretty high profile at this point. I mean, Freddie Mercury died of it.
Yeah,
like 2 years.
Yeah,
prior.
Freddie Mercury was already dead. Magic Johnson has it at this point, I think.
Rock
Roy
Hudson.
Cohn is dead. Rest in piss.
Who was that?
Roy Cohn, lawyer led the charge the competent person of the House Un-American Activities Department, as well as the person who got the Rosenbergs executed, and worked as a lawyer for Ronald Reagan and the current president of the United States of America.
Oh, bad.
Oh.
Yeah, rest in piss.
And I thought we were done with serious talk when we discussed Dr. Ruth's past, but...
I mean, we have other things that we have to talk about with this episode.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We should talk about the psycho-synergizing. This is so fucking weird. So...
No.
Okay, go ahead.
You can't talk about the psycho synergizing moment, which is a thing in the latter half of the season 4 and 5. You get a bit of it in 4, but you see a lot more of it in 5. But to talk about that, you have to talk about Dr. Ruth's producer and her, not editor,
Sound mixer?
Sound mixer. You have to talk about her producer and her sound mixer, Doug and Debbie.
Let's talk about Doug and Debbie.
You want comedy? This is comedy.
Hey, it's a couple of New Yorkers who don't know how to get together.
Who don't know
Dr. Ruth has to get this bickering married couple, this bickering kind of not a couple, but kind of a couple all together.
Yeah,
hilarity ensues.
Yeah, because it's literally it's soap opera. It's literally a miniature soap opera. These two have broken up and come back together so many times that they are in love with each other. They just need that extra little push.
I think that's more farce than soap opera, because soap opera is a more complicated, controversial subject involving the sexuality. Well, going back to the subject of sexuality, soap operas live and die on the contrast between 2 axes. The first one is the standards and practices of daytime television, wherein a baby or a little kid can be seen in the background watching it. The second axis is that soap operas are extremely horny and full of extremely problematic people who fuck each other over for the sake of money, profits, and getting that D.
Save some in the tank for when the wheel gives us moments to live.
Oh boy!
Oh god, that episode. But
okay, you need to save that. Oh, for when we get moments to live.
Oh,
because. Oh god.
And also, we get to talk about misery and live in misery because we watch the episode and we scream, "Oh my god, what the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
But then Doug and Debbie.
Yeah, so Doug and Debbie, who throughout the entire episode are either yelling at each other over who broke up last with who, and that's how they get into a fight, or there's this random phone call that he gets from somebody, and they argue about that, and they're about to get together and then they argue and then they get together and then they argue, and it's literally this thing of just like, we know you two like each other. What the crap are you doing? And in the middle of this, we get one of our very first cameos of the episode, besides Dr. Ruth. We get a particular musical key as Sam is walking away from one of Doug and Debbie's fights.
Oh God, this is right at the start of the episode when Al comes in and we're getting up to speed on the leap. But so this leap takes place in April 1985. And also, Quantum Leap is a television program that aired on NBC. Do you know another television program which aired on NBC in the year 1985?
Law and Order, SVU?
No, but you're close
RC?
considering. No, you didn't hear this, Sean?
No, I did. I'm just making...
Okay, you're doing a bit.
It is Miami Vice!
Yes, Miami Vice. I think the wheel has that as an option, which...
Oh,
why not at all if we get that one?
Which I had to check. I had to ask when I was watching Miami Vice. But yeah, for a brief period there, near the end of Miami Vice's run, it and Quantum Leap aired on the network concurrently. So
yes. It would have aired its final season. Yeah, it would have aired its final season right when Quantum Leap was airing its first season.
So they dovetailed into each other. How nice. And now we're in Quantum Leap's final season, and here it is again. Synchronicity,
And what's
baby.
funny, and what's funny is Dean Stockwell was played in Miami Vice, and here he is now as on the main cast.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was in an episode of Miami Vice. The episode where Castillo goes fucking crazy and kills a bunch of Russian mobsters with a katana, right?
Is that the one with the Kate Bush song, or is that a
Yes,
different one?
that's the one with the Kate
Yes.
Bush song.
Yes,
He
that's the one
kills
with the Kate
Russian
Bush song.
mobsters with a katana while a Kate Bush song, but I think it's one from the B-side of Hounds of Love.
Yeah. The scene's on YouTube. I'll find it later.
You can find, you can
Yeah,
find
the
it
song's
later.
called Hello Earth. Yep, Hounds of Love.
Hounds of Love B-side. I know my Kate Bush kids, which is wild to think that they went for the B, because Hounds of Love is. You think Hounds of Love, if only could.
Yeah, it's also an extremely meditative song.
Well, the entire
we-
B-side of Hounds of Love is extremely melancholy and meditative.
Yeah, but to go for that for a big action scene, as opposed to, say, something with rocking beats like a certain science fiction show that fucking sucked, did with running up that hill.
Oh yeah,
made
that.
the song work.
Well, I mean,
What?
at least that
Which
show
one?
put the song back into the public consciousness. I'll give it that.
Which one?
He's talking about
Stranger
Stranger Things.
Things.
Oh.
Which I gave up Stranger Things after season 3 because oh my god. Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard things about season 3. I couldn't get past season 1.
Season 1, I heard good things. Season 2, I heard some things and I was like, eh. Season 3, I was like,
Season
why
3
does
is
this sound? Yeah, season 3, I was like, why? Season 3, I was like, why does this sound like Twin Peaks? Season 4,
No,
I went like,
no.
I'm done.
Season 3 is not Twin Peaks. Season 3 is like Reaganite Kool-Aid that I had to vomit right back out. Ugh! God!
I've
gross.
heard it compared. I've heard it described as a mixture of Day of the Dead and John Carpenter thing, but in favor of Reaganomics.
Okay.
Yeah, that about tracks. We've gone way off the fucking plot here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also,
as you-
there's an episode of season 2 that inexplicably has a bunch of references to 90s comics that may or may not be covered on this podcast, though probably not.
Really? Well, anyway, I'm going to talk about Dr. Ruth psychosynergizing with Sam Beckett now to get away from this madness.
Yeah, wait. We need people to understand. We really do like the episode. It's just been 8 weeks since we've all talked to each other, and we want it, and we did. It's just we're nice to all be back together again.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's this weird. So psychosynergizing is a strange thing that has happened. I don't know how many episodes this comes in. It comes up in the latter episodes, as Mike said. But basically,
Also,
a little piece.
I think it also comes up. Sorry, I think it also comes up in Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, well, that's a major thing, yeah, because
Yeah,
but that's less, just, oh, that's a funny thing, and more, the totemic power of history is subsuming Sam Beckett with this macrocosmic energy.
yeah, that's less psycho-synergizing and more history. It's that's literally more. Uh, this is a fixed time event, and it must happen. And so when Sam is like trying to literally do anything he can not to do it, so he literally is like pushing himself not to do it. History is pushing back the other way, like this must happen.
We do not do this because we want to. We do this because we have to. We do this because we are compelled.
Yeah. But this is a much more comedic use of it. So psychosynergizing is basically some aspect of the leaper imprints upon Sam's brain while he has leapt into them. So, for example, let's say he leapt into a football player and he's like, I don't know how to play football, and he could catch a ball perfectly. Oh, I can catch a ball perfectly. I'm psychosynergized. That doesn't. I don't know if that actually happens in the football episode, but that's just the analogy. So with the Dr. Ruth episode, at certain points while Doug and Debbie are like bitching like an old married couple, even though they're not married, but all of a sudden Sam, who doesn't know how to advise me, he's like, oh, maybe we should just talk about this. Dr. Ruth will sort of take center stage in his mind, and so Scott Bakula starts talking in a German accent. It's the weirdest fucking shit. All of a sudden, it's just like, now I think that you, Doug, and Debbie should talk about your problems and see what you can do to solve them. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah,
It honestly is not as I like the bit, but it's not as funny as Dr. Ruth psychoanalyzing Al.
We'll get to that
yeah.
plot line. That's the fun
that
plot line.
that the net yeah that's next up, but that's next up on the docket. But the one where, and what's even funnier is one of these moments of him synergizing, it's literally on the air. What's funny is they're fighting in the booth. Doug and Debbie are fighting in the booth. And Sam has already, this is after Sam's already talked to Al, going like, like, look at all the good I can do. And Al's like telling him to go because of what? Because of the problem of the week. But he's telling him to go. But Sam literally looks to Doug and Debbie and he's like, I know what we can do. And then he starts talking to Doug and Debbie and they're still fighting. And he even gets like one of the callers involved to talk. And then all of a sudden he it slips right into, so you see, you need, Debbie and Doug need to come together to be synergized.
I love that he goes back and forth. He like says it, then he turns back to Al. He's like, I know what I'm doing, Al. I know what I'm doing. So anyway, what do you think, next caller?
Yeah, Al must be watching this right now, like, what in all of the hell is he doing?
Fuck.
Oh God! Imagine
fuck
somebody listening to this on the radio.
Man, what the?
Especially if you can hear the aside.
I mean, imagine the tabloid news after this episode. Noted personality Dr. Ruth in the past week has run out of her own book signing, is talking to herself on the radio, and just last evening was seen running atop cars in the middle of a traffic jam in New York City.
And then she gets found at the site of the less fun part of this episode.
Yeah, yeah. Do we want to do like a fun time, Sam, where we talked about the funny comedic thing with Doug and Debbie, and there's the comedic stuff with Dr. Ruth now. Do we want to tackle the more serious plot line here in the middle?
I say we do Dr. Ruth and Al now, and then after we get all we get out of Dr. Ruth and Al, then we go to the not fun bit.
All right. If you wanna use all your fun now, we can talk about. So another thing that season 5 likes to do is actually show us what's happening back at the project in the waiting room, where the person of the episode is sitting there stuck in. They've leapt into Sam Beckett's body, and so they're stuck there, and they're like, they had to wait while Sam in the past sorts out their shit. So
on, is that Sam's actual body or is
Yeah.
it?
yes,
No,
yes, it is.
No, yes, that is like another episode called Killing Time proves this. All the people who have leaped into that Sam has leaped into, their personalities have leaped into Sam's own body back at the project.
Lee Harvey Oswald
Okay,
looks into the mirror and sees Scott Bakula as his reflection.
yeah,
Um,
which
uh,
certainly that raises some questions about what Sam sounds like with Dr. Ruth in his body. Like, is he doing a German accent?
That's that's a good. Well, yeah, that's a good question. I
he's
mean,
he's doing the fake German accent. He's doing
that's a very
he's,
good question.
he's doing to Al to Al, he's just like, oh, that's it. And then when he goes back to talk to Dr. Ruth, Dr. Ruth is doing the same, like, so you see, Al.
Which is
Yeah.
really funny if you consider whether or not I don't know. It's weird because it depends on who's writing the episode. Whether or not Al sees when Al looks at Sam in the past, does he see Sam or does he see the person? Because this varies from show to show. In Gloria, in What Place Gloria, he sees Sue Stormer and he's like, "Oh my God, you're a hot lady. I don't know how to handle this. I need a minute." But I think they ignore that after a while. So but it's a funny thought to think that Al is basically getting therapy and he's seeing Sam in the waiting room. And Sam's like, "So tell me about Tina."
Tell me about your childhood.
Yeah, one of the another thing about the waiting room, especially in season 5, as we see it now, is there are no mirrors. There are no mirrors in the room. There are no mirrors in the hallway out of the room, as we see in another season 5 episode. There are no mirrors because they don't want to freak out the person who just leaped into Sam's body.
Which honestly sounds like hell for Fresno.
I know. But also, they fuck up because again, in the Oswald episode, somehow like the table is reflective, so he can see. So Oswald looks down and he sees that he's in Scott Bakula's body. And he's like, ah! It's a weird little shot.
Yeah. So Al gets therapy about his sexual interests,
which is funny
he's
because
a loose-going guy with 5 marriages, and it all stems back to that first marriage, which I think the ending implies that he's getting together with his current relationship.
Tina, yeah.
Which raises some questions about the finale, which again is perfect. The finale is perfect, and I will fight you if you say otherwise.
I'm not gonna say otherwise. It fucking rules.
Yeah, the finale. The finale is beautiful. But what I love about this particular moment is he's been through 5 marriages. He's divorced all 5. He's getting together with Tina, who would be his 6th. And this is him talking with Dr. Ruth to, help him. And you really get the sense of like Al is still hung up over his first marriage. After all this time where he's had 4 other marriages, all this stuff, he's still hung up on her, on the one that disappeared from his life. So, and he goes to Dr. Ruth, and Dr. Ruth is like, you can't treat your current person like you did them before her. They are them, and she is she.
Yeah, and also... Go ahead.
It really is, for an episode that really takes place and takes a lot of different aspects of Quantum Leap and actually does it really well. This, for them to actually sit down and do a serious talk where where Dr. Ruth is literally just being herself, analyzing Al Calavici. It really does work because in this particular it really does work. It's like at the end of the episode, Ziggy flat out says, you know, when Sam asks, "Why haven't I leaked?" Ziggy's like, "Because Dr. Ruth isn't finished."
No, not. Wait, Ziggy doesn't say it. I think it's Al who says it.
According
it's
to the
Ziggy.
calculations.
Ziggy tells Al that he's not done with his, and when he's done, he can leap.
Sam can leap.
Sam can leap, and that's really hell. You don't even see Sam leap in. You don't see Sam leap in this episode at the end. You really?
I mean, you do, but you see, well,
we'll get.
You see Dr. Ruth leap. You don't see Sam. And I think that kind of adds a bit of why I like Al and Dr. Ruth's conversation so much, is because it really humanizes Al. It really digs into his character and goes, this man is a broken man.
If only someone would fix him. Anyway, very serious conversations about love and sex with Dr. Ruth as Al discusses casabas, melons, hoo-has, honkers, hooters, headlights, tatas, teeters, tweeters, tom-toms, tetons, meatballs, mangoes, cream pies, cupcakes, bangers, bouncers, balumbas, bazongas, breasts. And I read that verbatim from the guidebook I've been using, Beyond the Mirror Image by the late Matt Dale. And some fun production notes from that while I've got the book open. The writer, Robin Jill Bernheim, who wrote a bunch of episodes in season 5, some of them really wild ones, like the first Evil Leaper episode, Leaping with the Shrew, and I think the Elvis one. It says here in the book that she confirmed that Dr. Ruth herself had no input into the script, as she approved of the portrayal as written, something that Bernheim was flattered by. She also confirmed that Dean Stockwell managed to repeat the list of breast synonyms exactly as scripted, without the appearance of it being a struggle to remember.
Yep. Of course, that's the FCC for you.
Yeah, that's the FCC for you.
Oh, brilliant.
I don't think I'd be allowed to make the musical number I really want to do.
No. See, I had always heard. One of the rumors I always heard, and thank you, Fresno, for confirming it's the opposite. I always heard that like they actually sat down with Dr. Ruth and she had some input. So to hear that she was that the portrayal was perfect, I really like that. Yeah. Also, the writer of this episode would go on to write in another TV show for I believe NBC, or it might be CBS. It's either ABC or CBS. It's either NBC or CBS. Diagnosis Murder.
Hello, Dick Van Dyke. How you doing?
Oh, is that the one with Angela Lansbury?
No, that's Murder She Wrote.
We're if you keep up, you're gonna activate Mike fully here.
So anyway, about Murder She Wrote, you see.
God.
I
Unfortunately, I might. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I haven't fully activated Mike yet. There's still one lever left to pull, and I've not pulled it yet.
Of course. But unfortunately, I might be preferring watching Murder, She Wrote to the actual serious plot line that we have to talk about. Annie Wilkins and her boss, Jonathan.
Oh boy.
So, last episode, we talked about Song for the Soul, and we talked about how we talked about the horrible horrible Bobby Lee. Welcome to a man who puts and Bobby Lee is a terrible human being who suffers no consequences for his crimes. Or he does, but he doesn't suffer any consequences at the hands of our leaping duo. We find this character, Jonathan, is pretty much what should have happened in Song for the Soul, where Sam Beckett literally kicks his teeth in.
Judo flip.
He tripped.
He tripped.
No,
Again, that is gonna be hilarious for the radio people to talk about with regards to Dr. Ruth. Dr. Ruth judo flipped this motherfucker.
No one. No, here's the thing. No one saw the judo flip at all. No one
And he's
saw.
not gonna say, Dr. Ruth judo flipped me.
So what happened to
He
you?
would-
A 50-year-old sex therapist fucking kicked my ass. On pressing charges.
Yeah, that's as believable as Stanley punching you in the gut and stealing your wallet. Actually, Stanley probably would do that.
No, I buy that, honestly. Oh, sweet! There's $20 in here. Excelsior! Oh, Stan. No, this is, once again, we are talking about a serious topic as this woman calls into Dr. Ruth's show looking for advice because her boss keeps hitting on her and won't take no for an answer. What the hell do I do to get this man off my back?
The 1980s and the fact that they didn't know what, like, that's the thing, like, the sexual harassment law, rules and laws and stuff, did they come in the 80s or was it the 90s? Because I know in the 70s they had those tapes of like, you should not, like, I've seen like a couple on YouTube of like workplace tapes, and one of them was like, we should not do this to the, for company morale. But like, no one listened to them because the 70s was, yeah.
It's, as an aside, there's another one of those. They call it the kiss with history. The thing. Oh, look at that! Look what Sam inspired, which does feed into this topic. There's a scene later in the episode where Sam, as Dr. Ruth, helps Annie quit her job, and the boss is like, what's going on? And in the background, there's a black woman waiting for an elevator. And as Sam is like, oh, you should stand up to your boss. You should call out sexual harassment when you see it. Her friend calls to her, come on, Anita. This is supposed to be Anita Hill, who in the 90s would later accuse a Supreme Court judge, I don't know the exact terms, of untoward behavior.
Oh,
Clarence
God,
Thomas.
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the guy.
This is the pretty much while this is happening, while this Dr. Root story is happening, the Anita Hill stuff is occurring in the same building, and oh boy,
Sam Beckett's saying, hey, you should call out sexual harassment against your boss. Inspired this woman some years later to be like, yeah, my bosses did some really nasty shit.
Oh boy, Clarence Thomas.
And actually, I think she went on to become a lawyer, fighting it for
she did.
that. Yeah. So that, like, she spent the rest of her career like that. So in a way, like, her hearing Sam said this would lead that that's a kiss with history, and it's. When you know the implications of what it is, it's icky, but like, you don't if you don't catch it. It's not like in season 1.
Oh, what are you talking about in season 1? I'm afraid to ask.
the season 1 Kiss with History,
Oh,
where
back to
Sam is the doctor on a farm.
God damn it!
Which one? Is
How
this
the
one where
test
he's
was won?
attacking-
How the test was won.
Is this the one with the taxi cab?
No.
No.
Buddy
No.
Holly.
Buddy Holly.
Boy. Once again, white people are teaching the African Americans how to play rock and roll.
Well, season 1 also has, hey, young black child, watch this. I can walk backwards. Oh, come on, Michael, let's go. But we've lost the plot a little. This boss is a real piece of work. Because, he is a stalker and, can't take no for an answer. Oh, you want me, you just don't know it yet. But also the way he's just gaslight mad. Literally, even as he fucking gasses her apartment, he turns the gas on and leaves her to fucking suffocate? What?
Yeah, when Sam's on the radio and Al cuts back and he goes like, "You need to get out of here right now. You need to go to Annie's apartment right now." And he's like, "What? I thought I changed history." He goes, "You did, but you changed history to where she dies in two and a half hours." And he's like, "What?" And so you then cut back and you find, and then you literally, while Sam's having this heart-to-heart with Debbie, you literally see the attack on Annie by Jonathan, and it's, oh Lord,
Terrible.
Yeah, this is another rape. It's horrific.
yeah, it is a thing.
It's not Trial Katie McBain, but it's still pretty fucking bad.
No, Trial Katie McBain. Sam actually saves Annie before it gets too explicit. Well, Katie McBain leaps in too late, and also Sam is almost nearly. It nearly happens again before they realize, nope, Sam's here to beat the ever-loving heck out of this guy.
Yeah, but I just hate the gaslighting from this guy. Where, first of all, when you're in the office,
He even says it to Sam. When
yeah.
Annie's walking out of her law office, he's even trying to do it to Sam.
Yeah, no, I don't know why she's quit. She's the one who came on to me. I don't know what you're talking about, Dr. Ruth. Even during the horrible event of the climax, the minute Dr. Ruth walks in the door, he just switches it to, "Oh, thank God, she's crazy. She's coming on to me. Thank you for saving me from the crazy woman, Dr. Ruth. I did no wrong, of course. I'll be leaving now. We don't need to involve the police. I won't press charges. I'm graceful. I'll just leave and get away with it scot-free."
And judo flip.
And judo flip. Because,
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a judo flip, but he also kicked. Yeah, but he also kicked his teeth in.
Yeah, well, he punched first. Which
He punched Dr. Ruth.
he punched his 50-year-old sex therapist in the face to get away with his assault crimes. This fucker.
Attempted murder.
Yeah, it was attempted murder, attempted assault,
Breaking and entering.
Twice. Let's not forget, twice.
Yeah, because the first time.
Successful assault, but attempted sexual assault.
Yes. So, so then you find out that just like how Anita Hill in real life would go on to become, become a lawyer to fight for sexual harassment in the workplace, Annie Wilkins uses her law degree and also, for the rest of her life, becomes a fighter for women's rights in the workplace.
Meanwhile, Doug and Debbie get married.
Yay!
Yay! The last bit before the last thing we see of Doug and Debbie, while Sam Beckett is running to a cab, running across cars, running barefoot down the sidewalk.
running barefoot atop cars, and my favorite shot is they show the mirror shot, and you see Dr. Ruth. There's also the mirror shot of Dr. Ruth judo flipping the boss, which
it's not
again 50-year-old woman, Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, it is glorious. It is absolutely glorious, and yes, it's icky. Yes, there's this, and yes, some of the history behind Dr. Ruth. But when you just take the episode as is, besides the ending, wait a moment. We can talk about the ending after. But besides the ending, if you just took this episode as a whole, it's probably one of the best of season 5.
It's I agree. Like I said, it's a perfect little slice of everything Quantum Leap does. It has comedy, it has romance, it has a real serious subject, not being treated with kid gloves, but being shown frankly and openly. Here is a bad thing that happens often in America in the past and is even happening now because, hey, Anita Hill, this shit is still happening. 1985 wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't that long ago from 1993?
Yeah.
Not even 10 years.
Not even 10 years.
So anyway, Dracula.
And then Dr. Ruth leaps back into her body, and there's a fucking vampire in the waiting room.
This episode, which before this episode, followed a housewife during the times of during the Ribbons Liberation Movement and all that happened. So you had that. Then you had Dr. Ruth, and you're like, oh, these are two good, interesting, down-to-earth stories. Yes, one had Dr. Ruth in it, but they're down-to-earth. What's that? Oh.
Fucking vampires! Oh.
Yeah, and it literally cut, like, the ending shot of the episode is Dr. Ruth, I think Dr. Ruth takes off her glasses, smiles at the camera, and he's like, next, takes off her glasses, next,
and
leaps, and then we get
a fucking vampire.
Our
Discount
vampire.
Yeah, played by Discount Christopher Lee.
by the wonderful name, which I will spoil here for when we eventually get to that episode. Meet Lord Carrington.
Oh God.
Oh.
If we ever get Blood Moon, we are gonna have fun. That episode is. Okay, there's one part of that episode that makes me wince. And is like, okay, you went too far. But otherwise, that episode is fucking delightful.
That episode, no, like literally, it's like that episode, the Bigfoot episode, the Alien episode, the Bermuda Triangle episode.
Okay, Bermuda Triangle.
The multiple episodes about ghosts.
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle and Ghosts were not season 5, but everything else was. But the season 5 ones were just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's so wild.
And then there's the episode where Sam meets God, which is quite frankly perfect.
Perfect.
Meets
Yes.
God, meets the devil, meets an
No, that's
angel.
not season 5.
The devil.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The devil. No, the devil is what you hope we spin so that you can draft rain. So
An angel.
fuck-
He even meets an angel. He even meets a Clarence. Like legitimately, he meets a Clarence in an episode in season 4.
And that's the episode with the taxi cab.
That's the episode with the taxi cab.
Dear God in heaven, why? Any other final thoughts on Dr. Ruth from y'all?
I really like. Again, like I said before, I really liked. This is one of the best episodes of season 5. Yes, the history with Dr. Ruth. Yes, the icky subplot, which Quantum Leap. Again, we proved that Quantum Leap is not afraid, when done right. Quantum Leap is not afraid to show the icky, and it's also not afraid to show them get their comeuppance.
Unlike last week, where we just saw them just sidestep all that and not have the happy ending.
Yeah, and then you find out through deleted material that she drops out, becomes the pastor, vocal gospel singer.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
happened last time. Yes. We needed to watch an entire season of Doctor Who to get the taste of song for the soul out of our mouths.
Oh my god. Yeah, and we got it. Yeah, and we got the Doctor Who season where Ronnie, the Omega,
Hey,
Ronnie.
I'm gonna add the Omega and the Ronnie to my Doctor Who fan fiction. They won't ever bring that back into the show.
It's the two Ronnies.
The Tehranis. Okay. Well.
So anyway, yeah. So anyway, after this is, we're gonna now welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the wheel.
It's the wheel. I get to spin the wheel right now. So
which has expanded considerably since last time, because once again the wheel is a living eldritch abomination that will try to kill us if we mistreat it.
all right.
Though there are rules to the wheel.
There are rules. The rules to this power.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, like Devil from the Dark. It spread out rules across the floor.
What? Anyway, shall I spin the wheel and figure out what the hell we're doing next time?
Oh God, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Here we go, kids. It's happening. Buckle up. The wheel's spinning. That wheel's spinning. Wow, the multicolored. Okay, we're going. Oh God! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Tell me it did not land on.
It's a heavy one. It's a heavy one. Next
Well,
time on
you
Quantum.
Wait,
Wait, no. We get 3 spins, so you get to say the first.
Okay. We get 3 spins. If it's too heavy, I think you're gonna take it though. I think you're gonna take it. Potentially next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, Shock Theater.
No.
Mike would like to use a respin.
I'm using it. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so
no.
how many
no.
So we get to respin 2 times here? Is that it?
Yeah, you get 2 times. We get on the 3rd spin. No, whatever it lands on is what we go with.
All right, we're gonna do it again. Okay, we try again. No Shock Theater. We don't want to have a depressing time in an institution. Okay, let's see what's happening now.
And here's the thing: Shock Theater doesn't make sense to do it.
We got Evil Leaper, didn't we?
No, we didn't. We know we didn't. But I know this is one that Mike was gonna yell about. So help me God. Oh no, wait, no, that's not. That shall not. Oh, so help me God is a. Oh, that's the trial. Oh, I do kind of want to respin that one. Oh, that's bad.
What was it?
So help me God is like the trial with the black lady in the South.
Yeah,
Oh.
All right. Final spin. Whatever this is, we have.
Spin.
Whatever
Final
this is,
spin.
we're taking it. Whatever this is, we're taking it.
Alrighty.
Be merciful,
oh my
wheel.
God.
Be merciful, wheel. Be merciful, wheel. Oh no! Oh no! We have to take it, kids. We have to take it. We're going back to season 5, and we have to take Return of the Evil Leaper.
God damn it! Part 2 of the Evil Leap, which, honestly, out of the 3 episodes, that's not the worst one. The one I do not think we should cover until way later is the first part, because the first part's...
Well, guess what? We get to see it in the goddamn reprise of this one, so you're fucked!
So next time, Return of the Evil Leaper.
Next time, we have Batman. We have Evil Leapers. We have the Toy Maker as a young boy.
Oh yeah, we have. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh God, help
And
us! Oh
Two
God,
episodes
help
after
us!
this one.
What's after this one?
The one we covered today, Dr. Ruth. 2 episodes later, Return of the Evil Leaper.
I would have laughed. I was hoping it was going to land on Blood Moon, but it just poked a little farther ahead. Okay, well, next time on Quantum Leap Reviews in a couple weeks' time, we get to talk about the evil fucking Leapers, the most ridiculous fuck thing Quantum Leap Season 5 may have ever done.
See what's fun. See what's sad is that we're not gonna have context. But
we'll make context. Don't you worry. We'll make context for this shit.
I know we're not gonna have context via the season 3 episode that we all love here together.
Oh God. It's season 2, but okay. Anyway. You can find us lovely people on Bluesky and various places. Do either You can find me on this channel and on my Twitch channel, Monday Night Fresno,
I
7 p.m. EST. I don't know what the hell I'm going to be playing on Monday, but we'll find out. Mike, Sean, got anything to plug?
I have the letterbox. Like I said last week, I have a letterbox that I'm still working on, and I have the a blog, Michael Hoovian Thoughts at blogspot.com. I need to get back into writing again because I am terrible at procrastination. But
Mood.
but yeah, maybe having to watch the Evil Leaper. Well, again, the second part is my favorite part of the Evil Leapers trilogy. Like it is my favorite part. So
boy howdy. Sean, what are you up to?
I'm currently bumming around various spaces. I'm gonna hopefully try to get the third volume of Back to the 11th Hour completed by the end of this month, beginning of July.
Hell yeah!
We're also gonna be working on the physical release sometime soon by the Tower Through the Trees through Arcbeal Press, as well as the previous volumes. By the Shadow of the Gallifreyan, featuring myself and Fresno.
Yay!
Working on some other projects that are mostly behind the scenes, hush, sort of things. And also, yeah, I am going to be depressed as for the next couple months because finals are approaching and I have to do a big project that is 2 years in the making.
Oh, that thing?
Yes.
That is that thing finally ready? Near about?
I'm going to start it.
Oh, I look forward to reading it, but also I am here for moral support, Sean. I am here.
I am also here for moral support, as is the Wheel, hopefully.
Well, the Wheel just gave us Shock Theater, So Help Me God, and Return of the Evil Leaper 3 times in a row. So clearly, someone has cursed this thing. But anyway.
Yeah, again, no, like, ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw is what we have been saying. The Wheel, if you piss it off or you make it angry, it will spew back in kind.
Okay,
The wheel is like life, in that it does not listen to your commands, and it will take whatever it wants.
That's true.
We are so lucky, though, that it could have landed on the trial of Katie McBain. It could have landed on Justice.
Yeah, I was
It
going to
could
say.
have landed on Justice.
Evil Leapers, as macrocosmic and fucking stupid as it is, I'll live with it. Anyway, so is there anything else, kids, or shall we say goodnight?
Well, I mean, it could be worse. At least we didn't get the return to Oz.
Anyway,
good night, everybody.
I love Return to Oz. So we have on the Wheel, we have the Oz the Great and Powerful. That would literally be 2 hours of me just screaming into a pillow.
Yeah, that'd kill you. That'd kill you dead. But instead of that, you get to talk about Evil Leapers next time. Yay! So thank you all for watching Quantum Leap Reviews, Dr. Ruth edition. Good night, sleep tight. And next time we'll be joining you. You'll be hopefully joining us, rather, for Return of the Evil Leaper. So thank you very much for watching, and we hope you enjoy whatever it is you watch